Hello. So, I'm outside. Hopefully, I have managed to magically edit out all of the traffic. But on the bright side, I'm not sweating, which is surprising because bedtime was a nightmare tonight. It's almost 11 o'clock. Those kids would not sleep. But it's now. So let's make a video. Where we are, we've been pretty lucky with all the stuff that's been going on. I can go to my used bookstore, it's open, and I have an e-reader, so you know how easy it is to just buy books when it's just a button connected to a credit card? It's too easy. It's too damn easy. So I have been doing a lot of book buying. I thought I would just do a quick book haul for my August purchases. So I'm going to try not to add up the total. Just kidding. I'm 100% going to add up the total. To be honest, I haven't even bothered yet. Even in my outline here, I just have blanks. But you know what? We'll see. We'll see what I've spent this month, roughly. Okay, I'm going to start with the books. Oh, Andrew, you please go get my e-reader. My beautiful assistant is here. He brings me coffee. He gets my e-reader. He makes sure my video is actually recording because I've done that before. That's the pits. Thank you. Okay, so can you also grab me a pen? I love you. Or maybe Magic Editing Shanna will do the editing after. This month I have purchased The Elementals, and that has been one that I'm reading with an online horror book club, and it's very spooky. I'm super behind on reading this week, or for the last week, I guess it's Monday. So yeah, all last week I wasn't a great reader. So I'm behind, but it's such a small book that it's nice that now I can just blow through to the end. This is an old book. It is kind of like a gothic fiction. It's got 3 old houses on an island, and this really weird family goes on vacation there. And one of the 3 houses is haunted. And yeah, it's just a bunch of weirdness. I'm really liking it. I also bought Men at Arms. I have changed the way that I am reading Discworld, and now I've decided to read all of the Guards books all the way through. I think it's not actually the Guards books. I just call them that. It's actually... and I'm loving it so far. I really think that this is the way that people should read it, because for me, it's been so much better. And I was liking it. Like, I was loving reading it just the way I was. But sticking with the same characters, honestly, it's so good. I am really excited to just keep with them and watch them develop. I have a wish list that's all books, like all Kindle books. And so I just check back and I see when the books that I want are on sale. And when they're on sale, I buy them. The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson was on sale for $3. So I clicked that baby up and now it's mine. I'm not going to read it for a while, but for $3, it's one that I want to read. I bought it. Honestly, I haven't read it yet because I have wanted the big, beefy hardcover for my shelf, but it's not easy to find, and I want to find it secondhand. And yeah, it just hasn't happened yet, but I have my crew looking for it. And for those of you that I have not yet set on this task, this is what it looks like. It's like a big honkin' chonker, so you're gonna recognize it. I don't care where you, like, just tell me when you found it and buy it, and I will give you the money. Okay? I love you. Let's see, did I buy anything else? Oh, I bought The Vegetarian because that is our book club book. And I'm excited actually to talk about it with people. At first I read it and I thought, I hate this, because it's very violent and not in like the blood and guts way that I like, in like domestic and family abuse and mental illness not being treated with any respect, and sexual exploitation. Like, it's violent in a way that's deep, but it also had some physical, like, it's a complicated book that makes me feel complicated ways. So despite not really loving the book, I am actually glad I read it, and as time goes on, I'm liking it more and more. Liking it might be the wrong word, but it's the word I'm using. I'm glad that I read it so far before book club, because if I had read it just right before, I probably would have gone in with the really angry feelings that I had. But having time to process it has been really helpful. So that's The Vegetarian by Han Kang. And yeah, I don't know that I recommend it, but I do have feelings about it. So that is all I bought on my e-reader this month. Let's get to the good stuff. I'm skipping my audiobooks because I use credits, and I've just got an Audible subscription. So, or I use my Libby, which is not a purchase. So audio, never mind. On to the real books. I ordered the Mistborn trilogy, and I haven't started it yet because I did a bad job reading last week. But I'm really excited to start. I have been keeping the first one in my diaper bag / purse / everything bag. And I had it today when I went to do some family pictures with my children. So it got juice on it. And don't love that, but here we are. Mistborn, Brandon Sanderson. I don't really know much about these books other than people who know me or people who read like me think it's fantastic, and I am so excited to start. And these, the money doesn't even count because I used a gift card that my mom got me for my birthday, so thanks, Mom. And also, so that's 3 books that I bought. How many books have I bought so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 7-ish. Now, this is one that I have read already, but it's The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. It's the second one in the Kingkiller Chronicle, and also the latest one, because Doors of Stone is just probably never going to be released. No, it will. It will. Don't say that. Oh, this was another one from my mom. I read the Kingkiller Chronicles originally in just mass market paperbacks. Actually, I ran into an old friend at Chapters, and this is probably the only time I've seen him since high school, and this was years ago. And we were at a table, and he looks down, and he says, "Have you ever read this book?" And I was like, "No." It's like, "It's the best book I've ever read, honestly." He picked it up and put it in my hands. He said, "Read it." And then I didn't for like 8 years. But then I did, and I loved it. It's my favorite book, and I regret all the years I didn't read it. Anyways, so I read My Little Mass Markets to death. Like, they have tape on them. So for Christmas, my mom got me The Name of the Wind in this copy. And then when I was hanging out at the used bookstore the other day, I saw this one in a nice condition. It looks in the same condition as my other one because I've read it. So yeah, now they match. That makes me happy. And it was only $10. Is that a good price? I don't know. Anyways, it was $10. I bought it. This is another one that I've read, but I decided to buy anyways. Aragon. I have this dream of reading this with my son, like cuddling up in his bed and reading a couple chapters a night like we did with my mom when I was little with The Hobbit, which I'd also like to read with him. Oh, I love him. Basically, I just bought this one so that I can look at it and dream about one day when I'm reading with my boy. I did read it when it came out, and I just remember it being dragony and awesome and just really, really cool. So, yeah, if anything, I'm kind of excited that I don't really remember it because then it'll be fun for both of us. 2 more, and they're both Stephen King, so buckle up. Needful Things. So at my other book club, where we just talk about books that we've read, one of the girls was reading Needful Things. And it sounds so good, and I've never read it. It's one of the Castle Rock books, Stephen King's town. This creepy shop pops up, and it's got a creepy shop owner, and it's full of creepy, weird stuff. And when you go, whatever you need is in that store, and it's for a price you can afford, plus one favor. And the favors tend to be just like weird pranks that don't mean anything, but they snowball and become big, catastrophic things. So it kind of reminds me of the monkey's paw tale, and like a careful what you wish for sort of thing. And I'm really excited to read it. So I think that this will probably be on my October TBR, because I am getting so excited for fall. So I'm already like, poor September, I'm going to need to find some books for it. But October and me, whew, it's going to be a spooky good time. And lastly, it's another one I've read. I just bought a lot of books I've already read this month. Doom a Key is by Stephen King, and I loved it when I read it. Sad story time. When I moved back home from Calgary, I had all of my stuff in boxes, and I moved it, and I put it down, and I didn't think about which boxes had my books in them, but they were on the bottom of like this outdoor storage thing, and then it rained, and it flooded, and you guys, my books, so many of them, it still hurts. Anyways, Doom a Key was one of them. And I went to recommend it to a friend the other day, and I grabbed my copy of Just After Sunset. Could you grab my copy of Just After Sunset? It's orange. I think it's on the third shelf. Thank you. The reason that I even thought about this poor lost book was I went to recommend it to a friend, and I pulled my Just After Sunset off the shelf because and I go to explain to her what it's about, and I was like, wait a second. This isn't the right book. So when I was at the used bookstore, they had this really nice copy, and yeah, I bought it basically just to lend out. But maybe one day I'll read it again, because I actually did really enjoy it. Oh, what's it about, you ask? It is about a man, and owns like a construction company or something like that. And he has an accident where, I don't know, he loses his arm, or he breaks his arm really bad. Some shit happens to his arm. And he basically goes into early retirement, and he has a beach home, so he goes to deal with his depression there, and he starts painting. But the paintings start happening, and they get progressively darker and darker. Yeah, it was really good. Yeah. I mean, I've got a couple honorable mentions. I bought The Devil in the Dark Water, and I also bought Anxious People, but they're pre-orders, so they're not here yet, but I did technically clickety buy them. But those were also a gift card from my sister, so I love you, Goose. So that's it. That is my book haul for August. I love buying books. I cannot be stopped. Let me know what you think of my books. Let me know if you also have just an insatiable urge to buy every book you see. I understand. No judgment here. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe, ring the bell, share with all of your friends. Thanks. I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.